Coke is a product made from coal, directly from coal. Basically, the coal is heated to around 2,000 degrees in a furnace in the absence of oxygen, and all the impurities are driven off. And you're left with basically a pure carbon product, and it's Coke. Coke is used in blast furnace for making iron. This is my model of Coke ovens. Coke ovens are very common in western Pennsylvania throughout the early part of the 20th century, and I modeled these particular Coke works after the Coke works at Schoaf, Pennsylvania, which were actually in process working up into the early 1970s. Now, my Coke works are near my model of Blairsville, Pennsylvania, and there were Coke works near Blairsville, Pennsylvania, but they closed really early in the 20th century, so they don't quite fit my modeling period. So, but I named them after that. The ones across the river from Blairsville were called the Isabella Coke Works, so that's what I named these. But they're really modeled after the Schoaf Coke Works. Here's a quick pan of the my model of the Coke Works. I'm going to go into detail about how I built this model. But first, let's talk a little bit about the cooking process. Coal is delivered to the Coke Works by hoppers. The hoppers are spotted over an unloading pit, and then the hoppers emptied into the pit, and then there's a bucket elevator. You can see it on the side of the tipple there. It takes the coal and takes it up to the tipple. The coal is discharged from the tipple into these Larry cars, and then the Larry cars are spotted over the coke oven to be charged. The coal is loaded through the vent hole. It's called the tunnel head, and of course, when the furnace is heated, all the gases will vent off through this hole. The furnace is bricked up before the coal is loaded, and generally there's enough residual heat in the furnace to get the reaction started in the coal converted to coke. The cooking process usually takes 2 to 3 days, and when it's all said and done, you recover about 75 to 80% of the coal you put out as coke. After the heating process, the oven is unbricked and getting ready for quenching. Well, after the heating process, the oven is unbricked, and a water lance is put in there to quench the hot coke and cool it down so it can be discharged. Here we see a few workers raking out the finished coke out of the oven, and it'll be added to the conveyor belt and loaded into one of these waiting hoppers. So when I decided to build this model of the Coke Works, I had to find a space for it, and I knew it was going to be fairly long, so I didn't have a whole lot of options. So I chose this space here that run along the wall. The main line runs behind it, along the wall there, and it goes up that way. So coming off the main line and going through the ovens and connecting them back to the layout is the better part of about, 14 feet maybe. So I needed a lot of room for this thing. So this was the only spot that I had. Now, if you look at this picture, next picture here, you can see the basic frame when I started, and you can see the main line, and you can see how much room I had on the workbench there. So I was hoping to make the coke ovens have 4 tracks, 2 tracks on each side of the ovens, but I just didn't have enough room to do that. So I had to settle on 2 in the front, which is really where all the action is and where I'm doing my photography, and then 1 in the back. But I really can't do any, oven unloading in the back, so it's basically just a passing track, even though there's 30 or 18 ovens there in the back track. So Anyway, so I built a frame, as you can see, and then I decided uh, what kind of where I'm going to lay the track. And here's this next picture shows you the basic layout of the ovens. So to make these ovens, I borrowed a casting of a number of oven fronts from my cousin, and I used that casting to make a mold. And from that mold, I duplicated 6 sections of ovens. I, of course, painted them, glued them together, and this is what you have here. Oh, here's a picture of the mold I made. So for the ovens themselves, they're made out of plastic Easter egg halves. So, you know, when you buy these Easter eggs at the dollar store, you know, there's two parts to it. I kept one part, threw the other part out, and I took these parts and basically cut out an opening for the front of the oven, and then I drilled a hole in the top for the vent tube, the loading tube. I painted the Easter eggs a fire brick color, and then I made ovens out of them, as you can see in this next picture. I installed LED lights in all the ovens, coming up from the bottom of the ovens themselves. So these lights run underneath the layout. And if I need to change them out, I can just pull them out and change them. And in the front of them, a lot of these ovens that are open, I put some basically an orange colored cellophane to try to give you the impression that it got a hot inside, hot interior. There's a number of accessory structures that I had built to complete this model, including the little trestles that comes from the top of the coke ovens out to through the tipple and over to the little engine house. And besides the engine house, on the basement of the engine house, you have your utility building and little workshop, maintenance shop. And of course, you have at the end here, a pile of ash. Ash is a byproduct of the process. And once you remove the coke, you also are left with a pile of ash in the furnace. And what we do is kind of gather it up right here and put it in a pile. And eventually it'll get used in other places. At this end of the oven block, you have a water tower. The tower provides the water for the cooking process. And over here you have an office building. The office building also has to the rear a dressing room and shower and stuff for the employees, kind of employee area. Here's the front of the office building with one of our managers coming out of the office store. Well, I tried to keep this video on a short side, but if you have any questions about the cooking process or how I built this model, please leave your questions in the comments. Thanks for watching.